In an Amazing Spider-Man book, they're going to kill off a character. This character happens to be Miss Marvel. And for some reason, this is a big deal to a lot of people. I do not know why. Well, I do know why, but I do not know why they care. One, this isn't her book. So her not getting killed off in her own book should basically hit any and everybody with a grain of salt because that typically does not matter. Two, this is not new to comic books. Characters get killed off all the time and then they always come back.
I think I've been poisoned by my constituents!
So why would that be something that would be taken this negatively, especially considering the fact that, again, this isn't the character's book. This is someone else's book. Um, and also, why the threats? Like, there have been death threats to the writer of the book or the creator of the Ms. Marvel, Kamala, and the Kamala Khan, Camila Khan, some of the Kamala Harris Khan. Uh, there have been death threats to the writers for her character, and it has been very, very terrible that people would go to such lengths to um, threaten these people. Yet there is no such support when it came to the actual buying of her book when she had one, because currently Ms. Marvel, Kamala Harris Khan, does not have a book. But I'm gonna break it down for you. So I'm gonna discuss three different things. One, um, the first thing is going to be what happened. uh, the second thing is going to be what does it mean, and the third is going to be what's gonna happen next. So let's get into it. First, what happened was that the Amazing Spider-Man book, which is basically a terrible run of Spider-Man that has been going through a slew of bad idea after bad idea after bad idea. They had Mary Jane marry a guy, and they got two kids, and then the dude is responsible for getting rid of Peter. And then as soon as she saw Peter, she made it seem like as if it was his fault that she didn't want to be with him, or she didn't stay faithful, or she just ran into the arms of another man immediately. Uh, and it's appropriate that a lot of people are calling the character that they have in the book a self-insert of a Marvel editor, because he does look like what a Marvel editor would be like. He looks like someone who orders from Starbucks.
Angry. Angry young man.
But um, it's been a terrible book that has basically been being nothing but a button, but a bunch of hot button topics, and so not good things, but just negative things for people to laugh at, which is never a good thing. And then they essentially promoted and showcased that they're going to kill off a character that exists inside of the book, similar to how they killed off Gwen Stacy. They did the whole one of these characters is going to die thing, had their faces all over the books. Oh my goodness, so stupid. They did all that, and then they just happened to kill Ms. Marvel. Now, upon me recording this, it happens to be the 21st of May, but this was something that was leaked. I'm not even sure if the book itself has been released yet, but this was information that was leaked, and stupidly enough, it was actually released by like big time media. So like, so um, like actual big news sources leaked this shit, and then everyone else jumped on the bandwagon. But this has been it was something that just generally like I said, I'm not even sure if the book itself is out yet, but yeah, the incident of Kamala Harris Khan or Miss Marvel death was something that just everyone, when they found out about it, was like, is that it? Was Does that matter? Typically this was the effect of comic book fans, regular people, and normies. But then you had the people who like Kamala Harris Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and that gets into what happened. No, that gets into what does this mean? Well, her death. means absolutely nothing. The character has done absolutely nothing in terms of be some type of showcasing for Spider-Man, let alone be any type of influence for his character. Hell, they didn't even have characters who are associated with her or that know her personally be present upon her death. Yet the build up and the entitlement that comes with it is that you got mainstay characters: Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, um, the Hulk. Was it the Hulk? Like it was like a picture with like a bunch of the main people that you see make like the MCU movies and like your like big name characters in the comics, but not actual people who know her within the comics who are basically on the lesser tier. Um, so that was very odd, but it also let you know exactly what this meant. This was a this was a gimmick. This was something that they did, and they did it at the last minute in order to try to make some type of representation, like in order not representation, in order to try to get people interested in reading the books. Even though that's not generally what happened when it came to Peter Parker being faced with an actual death, like a serious death that would affect him. Those were things that generally shaped the character into who we know now, not things that just happened on a on like the spur of the moment in order for you to sit there and try to increase book sales. So that's typically all that this was. But what had happened was that you had Twitter, that place that doesn't exist, blow up with a slew of death threats, hate mongering, and a bunch of just back and forth with a bunch of people constantly talking about how important that character is, why this was terrible, why would they even consider killing off a brown person. They talked about the fact she was brown and her dying is a bad thing. Oh my god. But this is the stupidity that comes from these people who basically will jump up and down claiming something yet will not support it because they'll tell you all day long, oh yeah, this is a good idea, this is great, this is special, this is wonderful. But then when it goes, okay, are you going to support it? Why would I do that? No, that's money. I'm not even interested in what this is. I just like the idea of what this is. Those people are morons. They're fucking morons, and you should never listen to them. You should never care about anything they have to say. You should never want to deal with them at any point in time. They are fucking morons. There's no sweet way of saying it. That's just what they are. That's who they are. There's nothing that's going to change about that. Never cater to those people, which is what businesses are currently doing now. But you never cater to those people because they don't support shit. They don't stand for anything. They just like the idea of something. You tell them something is going to be this, and they go, ooh, that's nice. But then when you ask them, will you go get it? Well, no, I only get this. But I like that. Those people, you shouldn't give a damn about their opinions or what they want to say or what they have to do. Why? They're not in the comics. They don't buy the comics. They're not going to purchase these comics or the things that they claim that they're supporting or whatnot or that they're talking about. They're not going to actually support it. They just like the idea. Damn it. So upon hearing that Kamala Harris Khan is dying in a book, everyone that cared about said character, supposedly, uh, were very much upset that this happened. None of them taking into account the fact that Marvel has canceled her book multiple times, considering the fact that no one has bought it. She has been revamped more than any other character. Like basically got like more number ones of her very first issue than any other character. Um, Strictly speaking, so they could boost her numbers because that's the thing that Marvel does to boost the numbers of stuff. And it's a character that for the longest, for actually a good while, has been in the mainstay identity crisis of people just not liking her. She supposedly is an inhuman who got powers that are similar to Mr. Fantastic, but um, no one has cared about that, about her character for a very long time. Hell, even upon her getting her own TV show, something that a lot of Marvel characters that are basically far more popular and had a larger mainstay in the in Marvel comics haven't even gotten yet. They changed her powers from what originally was introduced from within the comics, which is what her powers still are in the comics, is that they like she get big hands and stuff like that. Hell, they even made her the main character of the Marvel game that bombed and crashed. The one that Square Enix made that was really really bad and stupid and basically became a looter shooter. Um, what is it? What is it called? Something access. Damn, I cannot remember. But yeah. So she has always been this kerfuffle of a fucking dumb character because no one has ever liked her. Yet they constantly keep trying to push her because of identity politics and diversity and whatnot. She is you can't even really call her a tokenized version of something because she's not even really anything. She's just exist. She just exists and she just happens to be Pakistani and Muslim. And that's all that anyone can ever tell you about her character. Um, but you have a bunch of people basically clamoring and screaming that because the fact that Marvel killed this character is a tragedy. It's a travesty that they would even do something like this. Even getting to the point that certain people would claim racism because of the fact that there are no other main staple brown characters within the Spider-Man mythos. So them killing her off is just insanely racist. There are a bunch of black people within the Marvel world that know Peter Parker. Not only that, Miles Morales has been one of the forefront characters that Marvel has been pushing. That has been a huge tokenized character. That is getting his second fucking movie that apparently promises to be bigger than ever, bigger than anything else. And even I, a huge Spider-Man fan, criticize the fact that Into the Spider-Verse is an amazing, good movie. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like how do you live with yourself when you're that dumb? But again, this goes back to what I was saying. These people don't know nothing because they don't care about nothing. They're not into the comic books, they're not into the characters, they're not into the stories or anything like that. Only thing that they know is that Kamala Harris Khan is dead. And they need to rage about it. How dare they kill off this character? Now, this has all been the backlash because of this, and it's like because of them telling to kill off the character again. It's trying to make something out of nothing. They're killing off a character for the shock value. The numbers of the book is possibly going to increase for the shock value, but people aren't going to keep buying the books afterwards. This is literally the same thing that happened when it was like Superman's guy, Robin's guy, all these characters are guy. Bobby was told by Jean Grey when she read his mind that guess what, Bobby, you're guy. It's just for shock value. I honestly would tell you not to buy the books, because it won't be worth anything later on. Because again, this is just a gimmick. It's not anything special. It's not anything that's going to matter or whatnot. Now, if you have the very first issue of Ultimate Spider-Man when they introduced Miles Morales, that would be something to keep because yeah, they still keep pushing that character. But for the most part of what's going on with Miss Marvel has just been incredibly, incredibly dumb. And like I said, this isn't her book. It's not anything pertinent with her character. She's kind of been floating around from different people's stories here and there, like recently. So this doesn't even really matter. Hell, they're about to have a movie with the bitch in it. So why bother? And there kind of in lies the reason why her character was probably killed off in the first place. You see, the new movie is going to need some new press. And going to need some press and they're going to need to start boosting shit. And so upon it happening, most likely you're going to get Monica Rambeau, Carol Danvers, as well as Kamala Harris Khan, all getting brand new books respectively. Hell, they might even have a team up book or something like that. Who knows? Who cares? But that's typically what happened. So, swinging on by into the last notion of this, which is what's going to happen next. Well, what's going to happen next is that nothing, absolutely nothing. No one's going to give a fuck because everyone who's essentially screaming about this is going to jump on the next bandwagon of whatever it is that pisses off the little snowflakey self. So, I don't know. Maybe the Into the Spider-Verse movie is just going to say something or do something that's going to be stupid. I mean, the trailer had Gwen Stacy have a trans kids flag in it in her room for some reason, and that just makes no sense, like, at all. And you have so many people constantly forgetting about what truly makes Spider-Man special. Hell, the fact that he's covered from head to toe in his suit was one of the reasons that one of the reasons why so many people could see themselves be Spider-Man without actually needing the identity crisis of, like, is he black, is he white, is he this, is he that. It didn't matter. He wears the suit. It's like he's wearing the suit. Anyone could put on the mask and be Spider-Man, but not anyone can be Spider-Man, if that makes any sense. Um, Literally something that's just kind of like, I mean, hell, I'm upset constantly the fact that within the new Into the Spider Verse trailer, they keep having Miles say Brooklyn's only Spider-Man. It's like, dude, you represent New York, not Brooklyn. Why are they trying to dim you down to just strictly Brooklyn? That doesn't make any fucking sense. But then again, when you became Thor, you had on Air Force Ones and uh, you had blonde highlights in your hair, and Asgard had graffiti on it because that's exactly what a black Viking would do. Oh my goodness. this is These people are terrible. But realistically, this is just going to be used as a marketing ploy in order when they bring back Miss Marvel for her own book, which is why they did what they did in the first place. Her death itself doesn't even seem pertinent towards the story. It just seems like it just abruptly happened. And again, they're trying to showcase it and cater it in the same way that happened with Gwen Stacy, one of the biggest impacts in Peter Parker's life within the Spider-Man world. So yeah, this is it's being up is being done in this way and talked about and categorized this way in order, like I said, for the shock value. And once they get to the point that they want to, upon them releasing the movie, like everyone keeps predicting, they're going to give her her own book again. She's going to have something else come out. And this is going to be within the realm of people trying to look up more stuff about her character, which they're probably going to either another of the predictions is that they're going to make her a mutant again, seeing as how they're starting to do more shit with the mutants. How they actually did something to make it to where they're all like immortal, something goofy. So like they just can't die. Just like, but there should never be a worry about characters dying within comic books now because American comic books just have lost the plot when it comes to actually having any stakes being drawn in them because all of them are just really really bad. Hell, I would love it if some of them were just like understood, like, hey, you could do a short run of a comic and just leave it at that, but it's not connected to anything else. But even when DC tried to do shit like that, and some of them were actually good, I actually liked the White Knight story. Then they came back and it was like, people like this so much, let's do it again. And then they made another White Knight story, and it was like, oh, never mind. So it's it's not anything to be taken seriously. This isn't something to be taken seriously, nor does it warrant so much attention as well as it warrants the hate. Do not engage with anyone who's going to talk bad about this, who talks down to you or talk in a way that this is supposed to be something truly negative or truly crazy or anything like that, because those people are morons. They are fucking morons. It's not special. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just dumb. It's just unbelievably dumb. This is something that you can tell what they're doing for. Like you can see what they're doing a mile away, and anyone with half a brain cell could see. Oh, this is all a marketing ploy. It's not that big of a deal. There's other dumb shit going on within the Spider-Man story that actually needs to be focused on. But this right here, why even have her in here if you were just going to kill her off? I don't know, because she's not special, nor is she someone that knows Peter Parker. So this is really dumb. And anyone who's looking at it like, but she's brown, she's Pakistani, she's Muslim, why the kill her? Like, yeah, those people are morons. They don't read comics, they don't care for comics, they don't like comics. They just understand this happened to something that I say it should never happen to. I got a tweet. And then that's really all that there is to it. So, um, just know that this is going to be something that they're going to kind of bolster within the news, especially people like Screen Rant, CBR, um, other dumb motherfuckers talking about it in such enthralling detail. but it's going to be something that you're going to hear about within the realm of like comic book shit for the next couple of days. Especially considering that Spider-Man is having a new movie coming out. There's still a bunch of comic book shit still hitting theaters currently. So yeah, it's just that it's not that this is something that was like necessary for me to talk about, but it was something that I can understand they're going to talk about this for a while. So I just wanted to get my 2 cents out before, I just kind of move on with my life as you should. But this has been another episode of Fun with Flame. I've been your host, Daniel the Flame. I hope you learned something from this, and I also hope that you know to not involve yourself with anything that deals with the Miss Marvel character, as she is dumb. But as always, I hope you had fun. Hey, real quick, make sure you check any of the links down below if you want to see any of their stuff that I'm involved with. This includes more episodes of my podcast, as well as a comic book that I'm working on with my buddies over at These Guys. But as always, this has been another episode of Fun with Flame. I've been your host, Daniel the Flame, and as always, good people, I hope you had fun.